Hello, my lovelies. How are you doing today? It's G here from Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message finds you blessed and full of abundance as always, my sweets. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm getting a message right off the bat, okay, that you are, with this Ace of Wands and this Visionary card, okay, that you are receiving like a new vision of yourself. You are birthing a new version of yourself into existence. That's confirmed here again with the World card here, as well as the Eight of Swords and the Victim card, right? So you are evolving yourself out of some type of victim mentality. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. So I definitely feel like you definitely could be woo, okay, being given a vision, struggle of being given a vision of a new version of yourself that you are birthing into existence, right? So World card, you're leaving behind, letting go of the past, letting go of this kind of limiting mindset of seeing yourself as a victim, seeing yourself as stuck inside of your circumstances, as unable to control the world or unable to control yourself, or, or taking back, empowering yourself and taking back your vision of who you are and not basing that on what you are, on negative experiences or things that you've been through in the past, or through the eyes of other people, right? Of other people who have tried to project their own version of you onto you, or whatever it is that, whatever this victim mentality here, however that comes across. When I touched this, I saw the Four of Cups. So there could be even this energy here of you rejecting things to keep yourself safe so that you don't become a victim again, okay? Keeping yourself small, or keeping yourself trapped in a certain space so that so you're like, well, if I don't put myself out there, if I don't get into relationships, if I don't have friends, if I don't do that, then I can't be victimized or I can't be hurt by the next person, right? So there is this energy of letting that mindset from the past go. And they're showing me the Three of Swords in reverse, and I definitely feel like here with this child nurture, I definitely feel like you have, and this Nine of Wands, that you definitely have been, because of, you've probably been in a, you could be reparenting yourself, doing a lot of inner child healing, recovering from shadow work, recovering from these past traumatic events. But there is this energy here of healing yourself, okay? You even could be doing some kind of therapy that might involve animals, or you might be, signing on to have, like, what is it, like the emotional care animals. You might have that. You might be working with training some kind of animals. I definitely feel like your spirit guides are saying here that you also have, like, you do have, even if they're not like officially in the system as like emotional support animals, I definitely feel like here there's somebody here that definitely feels like, they had a favorite pet or something that's really helping them to, it's like taking care of this thing, like taking care of this animal or taking care of this pet or taking care of this child in a way that you weren't nurtured, is really helping to heal those parts of yourself that you feel were not nurtured or were not protected or not taken care of, right? For some of you, it might even be a sense of like, well, my dog never hurt me, my cat never hurt me, emotionally. Like, this person, it could have been like, yeah, just me and my dog, just me and my cat, just me and my bunny, or whatever. Like, we don't need anybody, just us alone against the world. We're fine. Which that could also be like, spirit could be saying that you're kind of limiting yourself a little bit with that. That there are people out there who will love you and take care of you, but maybe just for a little bit, you were just like, I'm okay, I'm okay while I recover. That's kind of the energy that it's giving me. Okay. So let's get into it. What do you want to say about this? Now that we've kind of set up the story of what's going on here and who's going to resonate with this message, what message do you have for people who that past message will resonate for? King of Cups. Okay. Six of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Two of Cups. And the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Also, there's a little side message right here that you might be gifted with some kind of, it could be some kind of respite is what I'm hearing, like some kind of rest, some kind of period of relaxation, of rest. You could be going on vacation or getting away or just taking like a leave of absence, taking some time off of work. You could be, they're reminding me of like a coworker um, whose parents they have well, she's not a newborn, but she's like under a year old, and she went, and their baby went and stayed with his parents for like a month and a half, almost 2 months. So that gave them, well, they did some traveling and stuff for their anniversary, but and that also gave the grandparents time to have their, to have the child and help babysit, and then that also gave them some time to really work on them, time to really work on going out on dates, being together. They took a couple of trips together, like rebonding, and so that was a beautiful, that's a really gracious, experience. So it's kind of reminding me of something like that. For you, you might have a partner, or you might have a grandparent being like, hey, you know what? You need a break. Let me take the kids for the weekend. Like, let me take the kids on vacation to the beach this week, and you guys just have, or let me watch the kids while you guys go on vacation, something like that, where you're just like, oh, thank you. Like, thank you. Or even if it's just like your partner being like, I've got it. I can parent by myself for the day. We'll go to the park. We'll go do this. Have a self-care day. You're really, you're overworked. Take the time off. That's also, so you're being gifted something along those lines. So you could have somebody inviting you to a trip, or you could be taking a trip. You could be planning this, or a family member could be kind of like surprising you with some kind of getaway, or some kind of, hey, I'll watch the kids while you guys go on, go just rent a cabin in the mountains, or like go down to the beach, or go into the city for the weekend, go see a play, recapture some of that like time that you haven't gotten to have for a while, something like that. I'm also getting that as a side message, so definitely love that, be grateful for that. Good, congratulations to that, for that. Okay. And for some of you, this could be something longer than just like a couple of day getaway or something like that. Like I said, you could be taking off some time, taking some kind of leave of absence or leave from work. Um, or you could just be deciding, I'm going to start using my vacation time. Like, I don't, I, something here about like not living to work here, and being like, you know what, I'm gonna start taking my vacation time. I'm gonna start taking these days off. Like, I deserve it. Like, I work so hard, and I'm losing sight. It might even be you taking time off to spend more time with your family. To realize like, wow, I've really just been working all the time, and my partner feels like they're alone or something like that. So it's like, okay, I need to take this time. But there is something here about getting more in touch with like a softer masculinity. There with that not King of Pentacles, sorry, King of Cups. This is also definitely something that could be like hidden under the surface with this moon card in the background, or with this moon card in the back of the deck here. What's underneath the moon card? The Nine of Swords. Yeah. I really might feel like you might have some experience here so you might go for a massage, or you might get some kind of therapy session, or you might get some kind of acupuncture, or you might get some kind of reading done, or you might go on a break, and you might have this moment when you're on that break where you have like this really big emotional release. Yeah. So they're showing me, it's kind of hard to explain. So they're showing me like the top, like shoulders, and for me, like the shoulder is like where you store kind of like trauma, or where you store like childhood trauma and things. When you have like shoulder pains and neck pains, um, un, you know. It's like you store it there, you hold it there, right? And so they're showing me that, and they're showing me muscles in your back kind of like cracking and popping, and it's kind of, they're showing me like tense muscles like relaxing. So it's kind of this energy of like you might have this very big emotional release that comes from something very unexpected, like something really simple could happen, or something, you just being like, I'll give a personal example. Probably about a month ago, I got a massage, and and I was telling her like, oh, I'm working through like so much stuff and my shoulders have just been in knots, and I was like, I really want you to concentrate a lot on my shoulders, really getting it really like loosened up in that area. And so she started working on it, and I was just like, are my shoulders tight in there? And she was like, yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stuff happening back here in your back. And so she spent probably 30 minutes of my hour massage just on my shoulders. And the whole time, like not at first, probably like about after 5 minutes in, I just started crying. I mean, not like heart sobbing, like, like, but I was just crying. The tears just eased, these tears were just coming out and coming out. And I was just relaxing and relaxing and allowing that, to kind of allow those emotions just come out and release and let go, And so, definitely, I'm getting a situation like that. Like, it's reminding me of that situation. It's giving me a situation like that where it's like you're doing something unexpected and it's doing some kind of healing for you. And you might have a release of emotions. You might have a very like touching conversation. And or like I said, like you might have that parent or that partner come to you and just be like, I know you're overworked. I know you need this time. And you might just be like, oh, thank you so much. Like, you have no idea how much I need this. Like, thank you, thank you. So you just and you're just like, wow, like I had such an emotional reaction that I didn't expect to have. And they're like, it's fine, it's fine. Like, I got you. Like, you're good. Like, take the break, take the time off. It's okay. You know. Um, so definitely feeling that you might have that situation coming on. But whatever this is, it's going to really leave you in a much more like emotionally balanced state, and it's going to lead to some kind of like victory for you. And I definitely feel like, yeah, exactly. There is something here that you're holding on to, that you're balancing, that you're not even realize that you're holding on to, and that it's causing you to actually balance here. It definitely could be some kind. I'm just gonna, just take the obvious here with this with this Five of Pentacles being, um, clarified by this Two of Cups here. I definitely feel this energy of it could be some kind of abandonment wound or some kind of issues around partnership, okay? Especially right now during Venus retrograde, okay? Like that's exactly the kind of issues that are meant to come up right now, especially around a partnership. Now, this doesn't have to be just romantic partnership. This could definitely be about any type of partnership that you have with another person, relationships in general. Oh, what's this? Page of Swords. So I definitely feel like it's also possible here that you could get some kind of download, have some kind of epiphany, have some kind of like sudden realization. Now you could be sitting there, you could be journaling, you could be meditating, I'm seeing somebody like literally sitting there like on the beach, and I see somebody sitting there on the beach and they have like a cup of coffee or something like warm to drink, and they're sitting there with like a blanket wrapped around them, and they're just there like relaxing, listening to the sounds of the waves, and they're writing and journaling, and there's just stuff just coming out because they're in a much more relaxed state. It's kind of in the state where it's like, okay, I feel like I can be vulnerable. I feel like I feel so much more relaxed. Or even if it is, I've talked to parents before that talk about how they feel like they can't, that they have to keep that brave face up in front of their kids. They can't really emotionally react and things like that. So it's like, okay, my kids aren't here, or I'm just here by myself. It's a safe space, and I just see you kind of just like releasing, just doing like this big emotional release, and you're just like, oh, thank God, it's like this feeling. Whoo, I'm getting like chills thinking about it. It's this kind of this feeling of just like, wow. And it could even be a situation where you're just like, sometimes your body just tells you like you need a good cry, and I literally see you just like crying so hard. Yeah, especially if you're by yourself. Especially if you're by yourself when this moment hits, I just see you just, like, and just being like, oh, I feel so much better. There was so much stuff that I was holding on to that I didn't even realize I was holding on to. That this was bothering me, and that was bothering me, and deeper underneath that, that was bothering me, and deeper underneath that, this was actually bothering me. So it's like, just real, and I see some of you even realizing like, wow, I've been fighting with my partner or being a little more snappy at work because, and it wasn't even that was happening that was really actually bothering me. It was something deeper that was happening at my home, and something at my home was actually reminding me of something that used to bother me that happened with my parents. It's giving me like deep, like you're like, wow, like, whoo, that was really deep. I'm really releasing and letting go of some really deep issues here. And I definitely see you coming out of the other side of this, and Queen of Pentacles, feeling so much more grounded, so much more in your body, so much more in touch with yourself, and being able to really release. Look how she's letting go. That wind is kind of just carrying it away. and releasing and letting go. Like some of you might even do that. You might do like a burning ritual. You might do a releasing ritual where you write down your issues or your problems. And you maybe like rip them up and let the wind take them away. Or I don't know. I just saw a message in a bottle. I don't know if you just like write a message. It could even be like you doing some kind of therapy of writing a letter to your parents, or writing a letter to a lost loved one, or writing a letter to your partner and saying all the things that you feel like maybe aren't fair to say, that that maybe you feel guilty about, just being like, yeah, sometimes I am really frustrated with my kids. Yeah, sometimes my husband drives me crazy. I mean, I love them, but sometimes it gets on my nerves. Yeah, I love my job, but sometimes it can be really overwhelming and it can be overstimulating. Like, yes, I like this, I like that, but just allowing yourself to just feel and not guilt yourself into being like, no, but he's your husband, you shouldn't feel that way, or no, she's your wife, you shouldn't feel that way, or no, they're your kids, you should just love them unconditionally all the time. But we're still human. We're still human. Just because we love our kids doesn't mean that sometimes we get frustrated when they're running around and they're tearing stuff up, and you clean something and then you come back into the room and they've messed it up again, and you're just like, oh, but I can't show this, and I have to, and it's kind of this like releasing of things you've kind of been compacting down upon yourself. So I'm hearing like, when I was doing that compacting, I heard I have to be a good person. I have to be a good person. If I think this way, or if I have these feelings, I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good father. I'm not a good worker. If I have these feelings, I'm not a good child, or I'm not a good parent if I feel this way, And it's like compacting. And there's going to be a time here of you releasing and letting go. Even if you go away with a loved one, or you go away with a spouse or a partner or something like that, you could have, or even if you're going away like on a family vacation and your parents are there or something, you could have a moment. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody have a really touching moment with their mother. I'm seeing somebody sit down, like, and they're showing me a lot of like beach stuff. So they're like walking on the beach, or they're like walking around, and you guys have like a little moment where you're just sitting there drinking coffee early in the morning, and it's like, I never talked about this, or we never talked about that. I seen somebody talking to a mother figure about a father figure that passed away, being like, we don't really talk about dad. We got kind of silent, and I miss him. And I see, the mom being like, baby, I miss him too. We just don't talk about him. It's so painful. But, and I see somebody here having a realization like, oh, you've been holding in all this grief to be strong for me. You don't bring it up, even though you need to talk about it because it hurts me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean I didn't mean for you to feel like you couldn't grieve the way that you needed to, so that you could be strong for me. I see. Ooh, y'all, I'm so happy for y'all, because that is going to be such a good conversation. I'm getting the chills, you guys. Like I am. You see them? Yeah, you can see them. It's going to be really big, It's going to be really big, and it's going to be this moment where it's like, I can feel better now. Like, I can feel better after this. Like, thank goodness. Knight of Cups. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be something that's really sweet. It even could be a moment between you and a friend, or just, having, oh yeah. Do you guys know when you have those moments when you finally get to sit down with that friend, and you just guys just sit there and talk? I mean, this is, I don't know. It's like men do this too, but, just sitting down and having that moment where you're like, okay, let me just sit down and talk through it, or let me just sit down. Men do it in a different way than women do, but, um, just sitting down and just having that moment where it's like, man, I needed this. I needed just a relaxing day, or a relaxing time, a relaxing getaway. I feel refreshed. Like, I didn't realize how much I just needed to sit down and have a good conversation, some good food, good times. Yeah. And then you're feeling Queen of Cups on the other side of it too. You're feeling so just like, yeah, again, with like that shell that's got the water in it. So it's like this feeling of just like releasing, letting go, things that you've been holding on to, and just letting it fall. Like, this could be even tears and stuff, letting it fall. But I'm getting that whatever it is that you're releasing, because I'm being drawn to these orange fish down here, it's giving me abundance. It's giving me whatever it is that you're releasing is really going to issue in. Like, because it's been some kind of block. You releasing this has been some kind of block to allowing more abundance, more things to come into your life. Yeah, Six of Swords. So it's actually allowing you to really walk away from some kind of tumultuous feelings, or some kind of tumultuous situation. Yeah, and I'm being drawn again to this card where it has the shark down there in the waters, and it's kind of, it could even be a situation here where you're just like, there's something here about being less naive about something, believing in that kind and innocent love, but being less naive about the reality of some situation, not diving straight in, not, telling somebody that you love them so quickly into relationships. So if you have been doing work, shadow work or yourself, child healing, inner child healing, where you are evolving out of like some kind of like anxious attachment style or some kind of like codependent relationships. If you've been healing that stuff like that, that's what you're releasing and letting go of. You're releasing and letting go and allowing a much more kind of gentle, sweet type of love to come back into your life. Um, and it is kind of getting along the situation here where we talked about the victim energy being like, well, I'll just stay single, or well, I just won't open myself up because that way nobody can hurt me again. And it's realizing that this part of yourself needed to be acknowledged. It needed to be seen. It needed to be heard. It needed to be acknowledged, and on the other side of it, you needed to forgive yourself and be like, this doesn't make me a bad person because I had this, or because I dealt with this, or because I went through this. It doesn't make me damaged or broken goods. It doesn't make me not as worthy of being in a relationship, or not as worthy of being like this because of my past or because of things that I've gone through. It's this energy of releasing and letting go again. And then on the other side of it is you being rebirthed with this visionary idea of yourself, with this new mindset about who you are. And it's about, oh, I can release this and let it go. Because Five of Swords, there's all this inner conflict and inner turmoil, right? Look at all of this pettiness or anger or fear, anxiety, worry. And it's about like you just kind of releasing all of that. Like, again, like I said earlier, boiling it away, burning it away, releasing it, allowing the smoke to release it and let it go. Yeah, some of you definitely might be being guided to do some kind of like burning ritual. So definitely, writing down or making some kind of prayer box or worry box or something like that, right? In the whole, or worry jar or anything. And it's about you writing it down, you putting it in there and saying, I don't have to worry about it as much. God, spirit, my ancestors, whatever, they are going to guide me as to how this worry I can fix this issue, or I can be guided towards a solution for this. I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't have to weigh on my mind as much anymore. I know that there will be a solution that will be presented to me so that I can find a solution, so I can find a solution, so I can work together with my spirit team to meet this challenge, um, or if that doesn't work with you as much, because I feel some resistance on that issue and me saying that, but some people, are again doing some kind of burning bowl ritual, writing a note, being honest with yourself, writing a note to your inner child, writing a note to your future self, writing a note to a parent or a loved one or past people, and saying goodbye, saying I release you, saying that I let you go, and then burning it and releasing it, right? And letting the smoke be a symbol of you releasing and letting go of the anger, of the tension, of the whatever, of whatever it is, the shame, the guilt, whatever it is that you're holding on to you, whatever all this issue is that you just need to let go of and release, it's about you moving on and letting go of that. I definitely think there is, but again, I feel like that spirit's pulling all of this beach imagery, because there's so much beach imagery and all of this. Like, yeah, some of you could be going to the beach, but I just have this feeling of, being near a body of water, and also like connecting to your emotions, right? This energy of connecting to your emotions, because there's so much water and all of this in the background of all of these, and two, here in this Five of Pentacles, there's a bunch of water in the background, but it's not, it's in a frozen state. It's in a lower state, right? And it's crystallized and and isolated. And it's about kind of like this thawing, right? Coming in out of the cold and allowing all of this to melt, right? And allowing all of this to melt. I'm getting that imagery as well. Yeah. And it's about you really being able to walk away, right? I've really emotionally invested a lot of my time, a lot of my energy into the past and things that I went through and everything. But now I can come out the other side and really let go, hey, baby, and really let go of this past old version of myself. I can let go of these fears, let go of these anxieties that a past version of myself really had to deal with. Yeah. Definitely. And I feel like some of you would definitely feel like you're kind of sneaking away here, away from this defensiveness, away from this like boundaries so high up, because it's like, oh, the world's against me. Oh, because of all the stuff I've been through, I'm having to fight. I'm having to keep everybody at a distance. And it's about being able to let go of that with the Fool card here and really start a brand new beginning for yourself. Fool card, world card, right? Having the world card, the last stage in the major arcana, Fool's journey, and boom, going back around to a brand new beginning. That's what the world card's about. Closing out this old cycle and being reborn. And I definitely feel like you're going to feel much more grounded on this other side of releasing and letting go of these emotions and just getting back in touch with your emotions and not kind of feeling like, oh, I'm out of it. I'm separated away from it. There's something here about isolating your emotions and like compartmentalizing them and saying, oh no, I'm over it. I'm over it. It doesn't matter to me anymore. That doesn't hurt me anymore. And just allowing yourself to be like, no, I'm fucking upset. I am upset about it, and then and it's like something about this acknowledging it and then being like, release, release, release. I can let go of this. Right? I can let go of this Three of Swords. I can let go of this heartbreak. I can let go of what's in the past. Again, there's that journal. So there definitely is something really strong here about releasing and letting go and being able to walk away from it. Because you see, there's not a person in this. I just noticed that. This is like, I feel like this is only the only one where there's not a person and there's not a cat in it. Right? Every other one has a person and a cat in it. But this is the only one that doesn't have either. Yeah, for some of you, I'm getting this. I've talked about it enough. I've thought about it enough. I've wrote about it enough. I've done this enough. I can let go and I can release and I can walk away from this. Yeah, there's something about, because I'm getting a sensation here of this person was like, okay, I'm done. That's enough. It's enough looking out this jury window. It's enough about like sitting here being all obsessed about my heartbreak and things. It's enough. It's enough of all this. You know what? I need to get out of bed and I need to do something else. Completely leaving this behind. Yeah, death. Look at that. And the death card afterwards. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, y'all. Oh, I got to show y'all this, right? So it's the Three of Swords, followed by the Death card, cutting those old past ties. One door closing, another one opening, right? And the door that's closing is this Ten of Wands, releasing this Ten of Wands so that you can what? Ten of Pentacles. Have a Ten of Pentacles. So that you can leave behind a better legacy for yourself, a better mental legacy, a better emotional legacy for yourself moving forward into your future, right? Definitely. Wheel of Fortune. And it's turning of this energy here. Releasing this energy is really allowing that turn of that wheel. And it might even have you believing in chance, believing in miracles, believing in yourself again. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, last few messages. Yeah, especially if you're the type of person that really is really hard on yourself and you really, it's kind of about, I'm hearing Spirit say releasing that inner bully, releasing that inner bully monologue that you have to yourself, that kind of like, self-deprecating thoughts, you'll never do it because you haven't had somebody love you in the past. You haven't had somebody take care of you. You've never had somebody really love you, or whatever it is. Whatever it is that you're releasing, you're letting go of. It's this energy here. And I just heard somebody say, oh, thank God, I've been praying for this. Yeah. That's right. Wishes do come true. I just heard somebody say, instead of saying, that's right, B, I've heard somebody say, that's right, witch. That's right, witch. Wishes do come true. Okay. Maybe some of you identify as a witch. Some of you might even be releasing energy here about being rejected for your spirituality, for your certain religion, for your practices, your belief system. You might have an issue here around being rejected around that. And then internalizing that rejection, right? And having like self-deprecation because of it. And I definitely feel like you are releasing this. Okay. Seeker on the back of the deck is the overall energy. So I definitely feel like, again, that's like the Page of Wands. You come here to this brand new beginning for yourself. You get this new Ace of Wands and this new visionary version, this new vision of yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm going on this journey to find that person. I'm going on this journey to commit myself to this new way of thinking, this new way of being, you know? Yeah. Hero heroine, right? I'm climbing and I'm finding, I'm finding that position, that higher position for myself. I'm ascending. A passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Hello? Okay. Artist. So for some of you, this might release, if you've had any kind of like artistic blocks or anything like that, you definitely, or you could be definitely guided to make something from this. You could be, there could be some kind of project or something that you start working on or that you start making. For some of you, if you might, it might be very cathartic for you to release through making some kind of art series or making some kind of journal or making some kind of blog or writing some kind of book or, just doing something. There's something here about that releasing, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So I definitely feel like even if it's just people and your friends and your family, it's giving me like a whole new a whole new lease on life, a whole new like journey starting. Like your energy is gonna, like, people are gonna tell. People are gonna be like, wow, that vacation was really good for you, and you're like, oh, it really was. It was amazing. I got a massage, or I did this, and I did all this releasing. Some of you might be going on some kind of like mental or emotional or therapeutic retreat. You might be going on some kind of spiritual retreat or something like that, where you're going to be, releasing and letting go, doing therapy, something like that, and I feel like people are, you most definitely you, but it's going to show up so strongly. Other people are going to be like, who are you? Like, wow, like you really seem like, people are going to, like, you're going to be able to look back and say, this moment was the moment that my life really started to change. I went and did this, and I released and I let go, and I had all this, and I had this new idea, and I started working on this passion project, and it just took off from there, And even if it's small little steps, which I'm getting, like, even if you feel like they're small steps, they're huge steps in your achievement of really doing this. Oh, your spirit team is so proud of you. They're just like, oh my gosh, we're so proud of you. Oh my God, I might actually cry. Oh my gosh. I'm trying really hard not to cry. But that could be the energy of it, right? Your spirit guides are like, we're so proud of you. Release it. Let it go. Let go of the tension. You got this. And you have this companion card here. So I definitely feel like for some of you, you could even come back, or you could do some, especially if you did some kind of like, connecting to your spirit guides, connecting to your inner witch, or connecting to your, if you're doing some kind of course or something about, I don't know, some of you could be doing some kind of astrology course, or you could be learning how to read tarot, doing Reiki, or having some kind of healing session along those lines. You could have something that's more, like more actual physical therapy. You could hire like a personal trainer. You could do something, I don't know, getting started on like a, or doing some kind of like dance class or something like that. For some of you, you're gonna, whatever this is that you go away, I really feel like you're either gonna find a book, you're gonna take some kind of course or take some kind of class or be inspired to do that. So when you come home, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I experienced this while I was away, and it was amazing. It was mind altering. It was so amazing, and it inspired me so much. When I was walking around, I went on this vacation. When I was walking around, I had this amazing conversation with this person about this and about that. Or I saw this artist and they were making this, and it was so inspiring to me. Or, I stopped and, I went on this retreat, and so much stuff came up that I didn't even realize was an issue, and I just released it and let go of it. Or, it brought it up to the surface so I could really like work really hard on it. But it's giving me a sense of whatever this is going to help you release. It's giving me like a big release. I'm getting tingles like all over my back, all over my shoulders, all down my arms. Woo wee, y'all. And for some of you, yes, thank you for reminding me of that, spirit. For some of you too, you might actually transition into working. If you are a little bit more open in your spirituality and things, you might actually release some kind of like working with some kind of new star system group, or working with a new ancestor might step in. You might be releasing and letting go of an old spirit guide, that was here to help you up to this point, and then you're issuing in a new spirit guide that's here to help you on this new journey, on the new part of your journey, right? We don't have, like, sometimes, just like in 3D world soulmates, we have spirit guides here that show up for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? So we have some spirit guides that walk with us for our whole lifetime. We have some spirit guides that show up just to I don't want to say play around, but just kind of like show up in our energy for a little bit, to help us through a particular experience. And then sometimes we have spirit guides that show up until we learn some lesson, and then they're like, okay, you've learned it. That was my part of being your spirit guide for this lifetime. Blessings. Good luck to you, right? But for a lot of you here, this is femme fatale energy here. There's some kind of energy here of you really feeling like, oh, what is it David Guetta? Is that who's that chick? Wasn't that Rihanna on that too? I don't know. I think so. So it's kind of like, again, like I said, people are gonna look at your energy, and you're gonna physically look different to people, right? And what it is that people who can see auras, people that can see energy and stuff like that, are gonna be like, wow, that person is really elevating. People who can't, you're just gonna look like, wow, your skin's glowing, like, wow, you're happy, like, wow, you look good, like, well, that vacation did you good, or that treat did you good, or like, wow, you look great, like, and I feel like it's gonna tell in your posture, it's gonna tell in your smile, it's gonna tell in your, like, well, it's giving me this, like, I'm refreshed, I'm ready, I'm coming back, I have all these new ideas, and I can do this, and boing, and everybody's like, wow, that respite did you good, like, dang, I need to take more vacations too. Where did you go? What resort did you go to? Like, what happened to you while you were gone, girl? Like, or what happened to you while you were gone, guy? Like, dang, you look great. Like, I feel great. I feel fantastic, you know? And yeah, it's just that. But that's what I got definitely out of this companion energy there. I'm not even gonna hold you. For some of you, you might come back with like a new friend. If you are going on some kind of like meditation retreat or some kind of something like that, you might come back with a really important, excuse me, like a new business associate. You might not go there to make, but you just meet new people. You could come home with like a new friend, a new person. Like, I know that, that we live across the country from each other, but this person is just so amazing and they're so inspiring. You could, yeah, for some of you, I'm even getting that you could reconnect with an old person. Now, this is, if it is that scenario, it's giving me somebody that you would very openly reconnect with. So like an old friend or something like that. It's like, I didn't even know you were into spiritual stuff like that. Like somebody you haven't seen in years, and you're like, and they're like, yeah, I just got into it. I'm taking these retreats, or I'm taking this class. I'm doing this. Like, wow, like who would have thought? Who would have thought we would have been doing this? Like, I know, isn't that crazy? And you kind of like sitting down and catching up with like an old friend, or like reacquainting yourself with somebody, or like even somebody that you might work with or something, and being like, wow, I didn't know you were into this stuff. And they're like, wow, I didn't know you were into this stuff. You keep it really low key. It's like, yeah, you do too. And it's like finding that person that you're like, oh, thank goodness. Like, you too? Oh, thank goodness. Like, I'm so happy. You found that person that you could really like connect with. But it is giving me a kind of long distance thing. Like for some of you, yeah, it could be somebody you work with or something like that. But for some of you, it's giving me, yeah, in that scenario, it's giving me something along the lines of like, oh, where did you go? Oh, I went to that. Are you kidding? I went to there too. Oh, that resort was so amazing. Or, oh, that treatment center was so amazing. Like, oh, I didn't even know that you struggled with that. Or I didn't even know that you were, it's like, yeah, I'm recovering. Actually, I've been sober for 10 years. And it's like, wow, this is a part of you I never even knew. It's like, yeah, it's like, I didn't know that you were struggling with it too. Like, hey, if you ever need to talk, or you're ever having a struggle day, come to me. I'm here for you. I got you. And it's like, wow, thank you so much. Like, I didn't know that it's like, it's giving me like a secret support system that you didn't even know was there. Something that was right in front of you that you had no idea. And it's like unlocking like a new something, right? And it's because your frequency has changed. You're aligning up with these things now. And so because your frequency has changed, and because your whole journey has kind of changed, you're aligning up with things that were right in front of you, but you didn't see them. You didn't have the frequency, or you didn't have the ability to see it for what it really was. For some of you, this might even be you going away, releasing, and coming back and being like, that person is actually so much more attractive. I've never been attracted to that person before, but now I really suddenly am. And it's because you weren't lining up before, but now you are. You might even have a person look at you differently like that. Like, I've never looked at you this way before, but suddenly they might not say that, but you might get a sense here of like people looking at you like, you're so much more attractive to me now. Like, what's different about you? And you're just like, Oh, nothing. I just released a bunch of like stored up trauma from my childhood, and now I'm actually open for a relationship. And so your energy looks open. You look open. You look available, right? Because your energy isn't like closed down. Don't talk to me. Don't come near me. No, I don't want that. And you go away and you have this release, and then your body's like, I'm open. Like, what's up? Your posture is so much more open. I see you even like your posture changing, like you standing so much taller, you walking so much stronger, you like having this very kind of like boldness when you walk into a room, people can see you, you really stand out, and people are like, wow, like something's different about you, right? Yeah. Yeah, Knight. You might have more people. Again, there's again that Knight of Love, just like that Knight of Cups. You might have more people shooting their shot at you too. Like you look a lot more attractive with the femme fatale, right? You look a lot more attractive. You also might have like a different, and it's something that you were scared to try or something that you were scared to do before. You're not scared to do it anymore. So if it's going out there, re-educating yourself, signing up for some kind of class, offering some kind of service, doing something, you're going to release and not feel so scared of it anymore. Or, like I said, there's some kind of experience here that after you do this releasing, you're going to line up. So it's giving me that. It's like you're going to align with some kind of experience away. And then when you come back, you're going to realign with something that was right in front of you the whole time. And and it could be something like, um, this could really inspire some kind of really big change. Or like I said, you could visit somewhere and then come home and be like, I loved it so much. Like I want to move there. I want to stay there. Like that place was my home or that felt good. You know, that's less for some of you, but like there is an energy here of like so much of your energy shifting. God, again, Spirit is saying God. You definitely could be aligning with a new guide that's gonna guide you towards something else. Any more? Just, and I think more confidence to stand up for yourself too. For some of you, you also could be guided towards like, and I feel like this is more like long term, but for some of you, you actually might have an experience that kind of shifts you in a career direction. You could have, and it's giving me dominoes. It's giving me you don't quite see it yet, right? But it's giving me like, oh, I experienced this or I did that and I'm so interested in it. I'd love to take a class. And then you take a class and then you take another class and then you get accredited and then it leads you to some kind of career choice. And then it leads you to moving to somewhere else or doing something else. And then it leads you, it's giving me like those steps that you don't realize. Like, so Spirit is saying, again, like it was saying baby steps, but it was like these baby steps are actually huge steps towards you getting in alignment with your life purpose. Okay. Wow. Okay. Good for y'all. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy it. Really love this time. Love yourself. Show up for yourself. And I really feel like that's what you're doing. Is you're changing around your energy and showing up for yourself. You're taking those self-care days. You're doing that, you're doing those therapy sessions. You're doing those exercises that are helping you emotionally release and let go of things. You're getting those massages or getting those Reiki healing sessions or whatever it is. You're signing up for that class. You're doing those things. And things that just seem kind of like, no, I don't know why. I'm just rejecting it. I don't want it. It's because you weren't in energetic alignment with it. And then things are just going to kind of slip a lot more into place on the backside of this. So I definitely feel like they're laying the foundation, right? And I definitely there is something here about releasing some kind of worry and anxiety. Yeah, look, there's that Four of Cups that I talked about. It's releasing that Four of Cups. It's releasing that. No, I'm not going to take that opportunity. No, I'm not going to take that because I'm scared. And there's a releasing of that. Yeah, Knight of Swords. And it's like a boldness. Like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to say it. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to go. I'm going to take that class. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to do that. Because why not? Yeah. Because why not? This anxiety isn't real. It's breaking some kind of illusion here in you. I'm so proud of y'all. And this is something that's been keeping you, well, maybe one foot in, one foot out. Maybe yes, maybe no. That kind of energy. It's about you releasing that. Seven of Wands is about you releasing the Seven of Wands. Like the fence is up so high that you're not trying, or you're not shooting your shot, or you're not walking down that path, even though you know you're supposed to be doing it. Okay, amazing. Congratulations, you guys. Let me know if this resonated for you in the comment section down below. I really appreciate you guys as always. I hope it's brought the love, light, or clarity that you were looking for in your situation, okay? Thank you to your spirit guides for guiding you here to get this information. Thank you to my spirit guides for helping me to guide my way through this, as well as helping to bring this information to you, as well as keeping me safe while they did so. I really appreciate you guys. Like it if you like it. Share it if you feel guided to share it with somebody else. If you feel guided to get a personal reading from me, that information is down below in the description box. And I will see you lovelies in the next one, okay? Thank you guys so much. Bye!